And welcome back to Facts or Frauds. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that bell. Today we go back to when Moor's gone wild. Take a look at Sade L. and how and why she got her 11-month-old child taken by Child Family Services in Las Vegas. Warning, what you are about to see is very, very disturbing. It's one of Light Tajiri Bey's followers. I do not condone this behavior.
So, today we're going to clean the placenta for the second time.
Yes, you heard it correct. Clean the placenta for the second time. I know. I warned you. Now I've had to remove the audio from the video because she was playing copyrighted music in the background and I'm not gonna get caught. Now I told you it was disturbing. The Prophet even said so. This is very disturbing video. Yes, she's pouring water on it, along with the lime and other condiments. You know, normal stuff. It happens every day. And looky what we have here. Just wrong. Hi there. I'm Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Once again, I don't condone any of this, and please, seek medical help.
Which is great, because I want it to dry out. That's the whole point of this, so it can fall off naturally.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I still don't get it, sorry. But she continues on and on throughout the video. I'm not gonna play it. It's just too disgusting. She dresses it up with garlic, oregano, you know, the things. Here she is on Instagram, working out. Baby right next to her. What's that thing on her ankle? Something tells me it's not a good thing. So what happens next now to you, Miss L?
Islam, Moors, Islam, peace, power, and love. I had made 2 previous videos in regards to my baby being kidnapped, and to be honest with you, they both were trash.
Kidnapped? Are you telling me they were kidnapping your child, or did you go to jail and your child was taken away? Tell the Prophet the truth.
Again, CPS has taken my child, and again, as a prime example, now in regards to my baby being kidnapped, yes, she is being held hostage for profit as far as ransom. They say, unless for you to get your baby back, you have to do that. That's considered ransom. Anybody knows that. With that being said, I'm also a Moor American. I'm not black. I do not fall under the Black Christian codes. I don't fall under the court's authority. I don't fall under their jurisdiction. It says, the Moors referred to as Negroes, Afro-American, Blacks, African Americans, are not and can never be members of the citizens of the Union Society of the 48 States, namely the USA, all capitals. The Moorish nation is indigenous, therefore cannot be compelled to join or indiscriminately. So that's pretty much a little reference in regards to who I am and me not falling under the court's jurisdiction. They don't have any jurisdiction over me. I'm a foreign national. I'm a Moor American. I am free. Blood runs through my body, and I was not lost at sea.
All right. I've heard enough of this. I came up with this. Give me something fresh, something new. Don't repeat the same old sovereign citizen arguments, please.
And some people call it like Aboriginal or Indian. And just to refer back to that, Indians, the Aboriginal inhabitants of North America, and that's Black Law's fourth edition, excuse me. Aboriginal, inhabiting or existing in a land from the earliest times or from before the arrival of colonists. Indigenous to the land. I'm honoring my birthrights. I'm claiming my birthrights. I'm honoring my foremothers and my fathers.
All right, stop right there. You're not native. You're not indigenous to this land. And, surprise, you're not a Moor.
With that being said, I did my due diligence in regards to not turning her over and making her a ward of the state and signing my rights over in regards to, she's mine. I created her. She's mine.
And what about the father? It takes two, you know. It takes two.
It's like that's not no debate here. She came out of me. She belongs to me. She don't belong to nobody else. And the fact that CPS thinks that they have the authority or jurisdiction over me or my property is absolutely absurd. Shout out to Novo Juali, by the way, and CM Bay.
Yes. Thank you for the shout out. I don't know about CM Bay. He's no longer registered in the Library of Congress. Did you know that? It's true. He's not registered anymore.
Legal fiction, which is what a person means. If you look at the Black Law Dictionary, edition 7, a person represents a legal fiction and a corporation. In order for these corporations, such as the United States of America Corporation, check that out on Dunn and Bradstreet, in order for them to go to have joinder, basically, have joinder with you, you have to be a corporation, or your name has to be a corporation in order for them to do a contract with you or operate in commerce with you. Because a corporation cannot attack a human being, a living man or a living woman. You have to be in a contract, and which is what your parents did. They ended up signing you over to the state without knowing. Me too. I'm just as guilty, okay? So let me go ahead and read a little background here about what the birth certificate is that Yara brought up. It's really interesting. He got it from this article. So registration means enrollment. For example, students register to enroll in a school, which gives them certain rights and obligations. When it comes to the birth certificate, you're registering to enroll in the private federal democracy of the District of Columbia, aka the United States. You're registering to become a federal 14th Amendment U.S. citizen.
That's where you get your school.
So yes, that's what I'll pause at for now because she said nothing but the truth.
No, none of it was the truth. Seriously. You really need to step away from the cult. Step away from the cult.
That was nothing but the truth. And that's why I didn't sign my baby over. That's why I never signed a birth certificate. I'm also protected by the treaty, 1786 and 1836. I'll get to that just in a minute.
Hold it there. I don't want to hear about the peace and friendship treaty. It has nothing to do with you. Really, it doesn't. Stop it.
I never signed anything. I'm Sade Renee L, all rights reserved. I would never sign anything with them. So with that being said, they stole my baby. I was actually just in my conveyance, parked in my vehicle, minding my own business. The police mercenaries rolled up on me and gave me, just threatening me under threat and coercion. They, kidnapped me. As they kidnapped me, my baby was in the backseat of the car. They kidnapped me for 3 days, fingerprinted me, put me under a fake corporation name, had me under a slave name, under a 14th Amendment citizen, which I am not. And from there, when they kidnapped my baby, when I got out, I tried to get my baby back, and it's just been like keeping her for all this time because, again, it's for profit. They're holding her for hostage for profit. This is not a game. This is real human trafficking.
Yeah, she goes on and on. It's human trafficking, she says. Meanwhile, she admitted she was pulled over, and she went to jail. And while she was in jail, who was going to take the child? Child Family Services in Las Vegas. Now let's see how she followed that up.
As that, I have given them the legal notice, and I'll go over my legal notice. And this has been certified. It has been notarized. It has been, again, the notice to the agent is a notice to principal, and the notice to the principal is a notice to agent. So I'll go ahead and read this information that they have on file. It has been filed as well with the county clerk. It has been sent to the governor of Nevada. It has been sent to the attorney general of Nevada. It has been sent to, the quote unquote judge, magistrate, acting as administrator. It has been sent to Child Family Services, CPS, corporation, acting as, actors and agents. And this information has been sent. So I'll go ahead and read what they have. I, Sade Renee L., natural mother. 2, Ashe Divine L., all rights reserved, Moorish American natural, in proper persona, sui juris, private entity, 2 CFR 175.25, being duly affirmed, standing squarely, declare and proclaim upon divine law, nature's law, natural law, universal law, Moorish birthrights, international law, and constitutional law, all rights reserved, declare and say, I, Ashe Divine L., all rights reserved, the living sentiment woman and rightful heir was not lost at sea. I, Ashe Divine L., being previously identified by the Union State Society of North America, USA, all capitals, under a colorable wardship name and authorized representative ex relatum on behalf of, then I have her straw name, all capitals, and do hereby refute the fraud. Any use of the instruments, Social Security card, birth certificate, and any other issued instruments, adhesion contracts, used as negatable instruments, that pertains to the name and signature Ashe, then I have her straw man, all capitals, her date of birth, was under ignorance, without full disclosure, threat, duress, coercion, or starving desperation to acquire resources, operate in commerce only after having been denied use of indigenous credentials, and has been many times exhausted. Now the list just goes down as far as gives some codes, just lets them know that the name is de facto and all capitals, straw man, things of that nature. And again, I didn't even need this because she doesn't have a birth certificate. But for the record, I gave them this just in case they tried to create a birth certificate in the process of them doing this human trafficking, holding her hostage for profit. You never know what type of sneaky stuff these people are going to do, because I'll get to that in the video too. Maybe we'll get to that, but I'll just say it out for loud. We'll get to the video with that. And so therefore, I gave them the information also just to refute the fraud, whatever fraud that they are trying to commit right now, for the record, just so they know that who I am, who my daughter is, who my offspring is, who my future kin will be. Because this goes deep. This goes deep. So I just want to read that also out. And jurisdiction, they have no jurisdiction over me. And jurisdiction means the right to adjudicate, authority over something. And that's something they don't have. And also just to point out, there is no higher law than the truth. None at all. None. With that being said, I will go into the second part of the video. Oh, and also I did want to go over the fact, for the record, what I also sent them in regards to delegation of authority. Now, delegation of authority is the right or permission to act legally on another's behalf, the power delegate by principal to agent. So it's like, even when I went for my special appearances, they tried to summon me, and you summon the dead. You don't summon the living being. For the record, blood runs through my veins. I'm a living being, a divine creator, may I add. And, it's like when you go to court, the court actually they have two things in mind: who's the debtor and who's the creditor. And the debtor, normally loses 100% of the time. All they're worried about is that fiat, that moolah, those Federal Reserve notes, that money, honey. Sad. Just sad. Just unjust people just crawling around the earth. Look, aliens, foreigners, stateless peoples, all of the above. So I want to get into quo warranto. And that's pretty much when these fake judges and fake magistrates and fake lawyers and attorneys call themselves having jurisdiction over you, you give them a quo warranto so they can prove jurisdiction. And I just read a part of what I had sent them. And it says, as all government entities and alleged private corporations must be a creature of the American Constitution, this is a formal request and command for Child Family Services, Payal V. Patel, Adriana Ricon White, Michelle Polino, Nicholas Eason, Shalonda Adams, to produce, for the record, the physical documented delegation of authority as proof of jurisdiction as required by law per Article 3, Section 1 of the United States Republic Constitution.
All right, that's a bunch of word salad. I don't know what you expect to happen writing to all these people, all that nonsense. What else you got?
Peace. Peace and love, and power. I am Sade Renee L. Thank you for tuning into my channel, and today we're back with another video. So today I'm actually going to make public, for the record, this judgment lien. Check it out. This is the judgment lien. And again, I'm going to go over it for public record purposes. It has been e-filed already, and I'll get into all of that in just a few moments. So let's start off with this again, Consulate of Morocco. Just let you know, I am a consul officer of Morocco in the Nevada State Republic territory. And I do have consular authority to exercise over property, estate, and persons, foreign nationals in this territory. So it reads as follows. I, Sade Renee L., Aboriginal, Moorish American national, and rightful heir. Morocco at North America by Just Sanguinis, in full life, proper persona, sui juris, authorized rep, ex relatone, all capital letters, Sade Kellogg Tharp. So this is a judgment lien. It's an international document. I'm the complainant, and I'm the judgment creditor. And this is verse. Adriana Ricon White, acting as hearing master, 8th Judicial Court, Family Division. Tim Birch, acting as Administrator, Child Family Services, Las Vegas. Joe Lombardo, Sheriff for Clark County, Nevada. Steve Gerson, acting as Clerk of Court, Las Vegas. Nick Pettis, bar number 13222, acting as my child's attorney. Michelle Polino, Nicholas Eason, Shalonda Adams, Tisha Evans, acting as case workers for Child Family Services, Las Vegas. Paya Patel, acting as district attorney. And also, just let you know, consular jurisdiction and venue established under treaty law per Article 20 and 21 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship 1836 between United States of North American and Moroccan Empire. Per Article 3, Section 2, Article 6, Clause 2 of the Constitution for the United States of America. All right. So again, for the record, these are all the people. We have Nick Pettis, Michelle Polino, Paya Patel, Shalonda Adams, Nicholas Eason, Tisha Evans, Adriana Ricon White, Steve Gerson, and Joe Lombardo, Tim Birch. All right, so this is the judgment lien. Judgment lien. Notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent. You see I have my security 15 USC 78C parentheses 10. It's a tracker flag. Okay. All right. Notice of lien of judgment is hereby given, and a judgment lien is hereby taken in favor of Sade Renee L., hereinafter lien creditor, and against the property and assets of Joe Lombardo, Sheriff for Clark County, Nevada. Adriana Ricon White, acting as hearing master, magistrate for 8th Judicial Court, Family Division. And Tim Birch, acting as administrator, Child Family Services, Las Vegas. Stephen B. Wolfson, acting as district attorney, hereinafter lien debtors. for default and breach of constitutional and treaty obligations under Article 6, Clause 2 of the Constitution for the United States of North America, and under Articles 6 and 20 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1836 between the United States of North America and the Moroccan Empire, by failing to execute the duty in the writ of habeas corpus ad subjecticidium, release order which was duly served upon the lien debtors on December 7th, 2020 via United States Postmaster certified mail with return receipts, article numbers 940 55 111 080 368 229 111 21 and 940 55 111 080 368 229 11268 for Joe Lombardo and Tim Birch, for the purpose of enforcing such treaty obligations for the immediate release of our Moorish national being denationalized and forcibly assimilated under the unconstitutional 14th Amendment U.S. Corporate Citizenship Clause while being unlawfully held hostage for profit under custody of the information of all capital letters, Ashe Divine, Kellogg Tharp, date of birth 8/8/2019, race black. Incorrect. At the Clark County Family Services located at 701 North Pecos Road, Las Vegas, under the custody of the lien debtor, Tim Birch, and there being no answer or clause to the contrary made by any of the lien debtors, it is therefore considered, ordered, and adjudged that a judgment lien be and the same is hereby entered against the lien debtors. So let me pause on that for a little bit. So again, I sent them this affidavit. It's an affidavit for writ of habeas corpus ad subjecticidium. As you can see, it was actually dated October the 19th. And it was filed by Steve Gerson on the 19th at 2:38 p.m. So it has been filed. Again, notice to principal is notice to agent, and notice to agent is notice to principal. So they have received this release order, a habeas corpus, release the body, Black Law's Dictionary, excuse me. And I'll just read a little bit of this as well. I, Sade Renee L., of lawful age and being first duly sworn upon affirmation, deposes and says, I am a council officer of the Consulate of Morocco in the Nevada State Republic. I am vested with the treaty right to exercise consular jurisdiction over the person and property, estate of our Moorish American nationals in the Nevada State Republic territory in accordance with the provisions of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1836 between the United States of North America and the Moroccan Empire. I have firsthand knowledge and information of our Moorish American national, Ashe Divine L., being presently denationalized and held hostage for profit as surety for Nam Degir, all capital letters, Ashe Divine Kellogg Tharp, date of birth 8/8/2019, race black, in unlawful imprisonment under the custody of acting administrator Tim Birch of the Clark County Family Services Incorporation at the following location, 701 North Pecos Road. I further assert that the unlawful imprisonment was due to the following circumstances. On June 28, 2020, near the corporate Las Vegas, Nevada State Republic, our Moorish American national Ashe Divine L. was arbitrarily detained and eventually kidnapped, denationalized as a civilly dead stateless person, held hostage for profit as surety for all capital letters Ashe Divine Kellogg Tharp, race black, under the custody of Tim Birch, acting as administrator, Clark County Family Services Incorporation, by several armed highwaymen doing business as policemen, employee contractor of the Foreign Clark County Police Department Incorporation, whom were acting in collusion with a female identified as M. Cardell, doing business as an agent contractor representative for Clark County Family Services Incorporation. As a result, our national Ashe Divine L is presently being held hostage as a prize and deprived of her liberty under color of state law within purview of the plausible 14th Amendment, contrary to and in violation of the supreme law of the land under Article 6, Clause 2 of the Constitution for the United States Republic of North America. All conspirators are foreign hybrid Europeans and stateless persons acting with purview of the plausible 14th Amendment U.S. Corporate Citizenship Clause, because of which this is an international treaty matter which comes under the jurisdiction of the Council of Morocco in the Nevada State Republic. And our national Ashe Divine El is to be immediately released by such consular jurisdiction per Article 6 and 20 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1836 between the United States of North America and the Moroccan Empire, which aver the following. Article 6, in relevant part. If any more, M-O-O-R, not a subject of these dominions shall make prize of any citizens of America or their effects, and bring them into any of the ports of his majesty, they shall immediately be released, as they will be considered under his majesty's protection. Article 20. If any citizens of the United States or any persons under their protection shall have any disputes with each other, the council shall decide between the parties. And whenever the council shall require any aid or assistance from the government to enforce his decisions, it shall immediately be granted to him. Wherefore, this affidavit is issued to jurists in support of the writ of habeas corpus ad subjecticidium and release order according to law, directed to Tim Birch, acting as Administrator, Clark County Family Services Incorporation, and Joe Lombardi, acting as Sheriff for Clark County, Nevada, commanding that they forthwith release the body of our national Ashe Divine El by treaty obligation pursuant to Article 6 and 20 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1836 between the United States of North America and the Moroccan Empire, and the stare decisis law in the case Colvrat versus Oregon 366 U.S. 187, 194, 81S.CT.922, 1961, which the Supreme Court of the United States stated the following. A state cannot refuse to give foreign nationals their treaty rights because of fear that valid international agreements may possibly not work to the satisfaction of the state authorities. Under the Supremacy Clause of the United States Constitution, Article 6, Clause 2, state policies must give way to overriding federal treaties and conflicting arrangements. Further, affin saith not. And so this is what we have right here. As you see, I went ahead and signed it in red thumbprint. It has been notarized. It was notarized the date that it was filed, which was October the 19th. And I did resend it. So that's why this one says a different date, because I had filed this online and then I had remailed it out because they act like they didn't get it. So I just resent it. All right. So, yes. All right. So let's get back to my judgment lien. Most of y'all call it a lawsuit, but we do liens, not lawsuits. This is my courts, my land, my shit.
All right, calm down, crazy McLooney Bin. Calm down.
All right, getting back to it. It is further ordered and adjudged that the lien creditor shall recover from the lien debtors the judgment as follows. The immediate dismissal with prejudice of case number, without prejudice of case number J203510556P1, the immediate release and return of Ashe Divine El and any other attachments associated thereto for lack of jurisdiction and fraud. And if they don't want to drop her off, I can go pick her up. I can travel in my conveyance and go pick her up. For the record. All right, so this is what I have here. I have here kidnapping, 10 million. Denationalization under Black Code, 10 million. Human trafficking, 10 million. Deprivation of rights, 10 million. Falsified documents, 10 million. Conspiracy against rights, 50 million. Slavery, 10 million. Slander, 10 million. Genocide, 10 million. Treason, 190 million. Breach of treaty and constitution obligations, 10 million. Total is 330 million in lawful money $1.9999 fine gold bullion, coins, or bars. Okay? That's the total. 330 mil. 330 million. And I want my gold and silver too. For the record. And also in regards to that, I'll show you this adverment of jurisdiction, this quo warranto that I had sent to the hearing master. As you can see right here, Adriana Ricone Wright. This was sent and certified September the 11th. And I told her that it was $1 million a day for pain and suffering. $1 million a day. A day. A day. It is further ordered in a judge that this judgment lien shall extend to and cover all property and all to property, real and personal, corporeal and incorporeal, of the lien debtors and their spouses, their heirs, your kids too. Yep, your kids as well. Their heirs, your future children, successors, and assigns as long as this judgment lien is not fully satisfied. And the property and to the property of the lien debtors shall include, but shall not be limited to the following: any oaths of office, public surety bonds, lands, common property, community property, intellectual property, commercial property, automobiles, boats, aircrafts, bank accounts, future earnings, wages, and pensions. Future earnings, wages, and pensions. It is ordered and adjourned, a judge, that the said property of the lien debtors may be levied upon any time by the lien creditor or by any counsel agent of the Consulate General of Morocco at the Nevada State Republic, acting on behalf of and in the interest of the lien creditor, and such property shall be held as security until this judgment lien is fully satisfied. It is further ordered in a judge that if this judgment lien is not fully satisfied by the lien debtors within 30 days from the received date of this judgment lien by the lien creditor, Shade Renee L., then the lien debtors forfeit all of their property unto the lien creditor under this judgment lien in accordance with the amendment, section 12 of the Constitution for the United States of North America, which aver the following: the traffic in slaves with Africa is hereby forever prohibited on pain of death and the forfeiture of all rights and property of persons engaged therein, and the descendants of Africans shall not be citizens. It is ordered to judge that this collusive action and proceedings taken under color of law within purview of the 149th Amendment by the lien debtors in case number J2035156P1 in the records of 8th Judicial Court Family Division and Corporation, including any alleged judgments and orders attached thereto, are unconstitutional, notwithstanding, null and void, and are unenforceable for lack of jurisdiction and fraud per stare decisis law in the case Elliott vs. Pearsall 26U.S.328,340/1828, where the Supreme Court of the United States decided the following: courts are constituted by authority and they cannot act beyond the power delegated to them. And going back to this, no response. No response. What? Lien. They are not voidable, but simply void. Her judgment is void. And form no bar to a remedy sought in opposition to them, even prior to a reversal. They constitute no satisfaction, and all persons executing such judgments or sentences are considered in law trespassers! first.
Whoa. Calm down there, little crazy McLooney bin. Let's use our inside voice, please.
Trespassers. This judgment lien may be amended at any time to add any additional relevant persons as a lien debtor, because I am going to start adding more people. You can be a party to the matter. You get a lien, you get a lien, you get a lien, you get a lien. They all get liens. They all get liens. Done and ordered.
Well, they got something.
I declare and affirm by virtue of divine law, under the Zodiac Constitution and the United States Republic Constitution 1791, and upon the honor of my foremothers and forefathers, that the foregoing default judgment and affidavit is true and correct. Signed, thumbprint. Cited authorities. Consular jurisdiction and venue under Article 20 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1836, in force 1837 between the United States of North America and the Moroccan Empire. Supremacy Clause under Article 6, Clause 2 of the Constitution for the United States of North America 1791. Diversity of nationality case under Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution for the United States of North America 1791. Kograp versus Oregon 366 U.S. 187, 194, 81, S.CL 922 1961. A state cannot refuse to give foreign nationals their treaty rights of fear that valid international agreements may possibly not work completely to the satisfaction of state authorities. Under the Supremacy Clause of the United States Constitution, Article 6, Clause 2, state policies must give way to overriding federal treaties and conflicting arrangements. Next, First National Bank versus Terry, 103 CALAPP.501, 285P.336, 377. Full faith and credit clause of the Constitution, U.S. Article 4:1, requires that foreign judgment be given such faith and credit as it had by law or of state origin. Next, Senate versus Family Finance 395 U.S. .337 349 1968. The ability to place a lien upon a man's property, such as to temporarily deprive him of its beneficial use, without any judicial determination of probable cause, dates back not only to medieval times, but also to Roman fouls. And a side note on that, you know, the provost marshal, right? So back in the days, the provost marshal and even the bailiff, from my understanding, when we had, you know, the court system, whatnot, as Moors and stuff, if a person lied on stand, they'd shoot them right there. On sight. On sight. Off with their head. Treason.
No, that never happened in the history of the United States of America. Do some reading. It'll help.
This has been notarized. It was notarized today, January the 11th, 2021. And this page was intentionally left blank, page 9 of 9. All right, so I just wanted to go over that for the record. Judgment lien, again, anybody can be a party of the matter. The foster parents are actually next on my list to become parties of the matter. So they can count their days.
So have they sent you anything now?
Right here. They sent me back my documents, but they found it. They got it because they sent this back. Right here, administrative order, affidavit of facts, writs. That right there. Plus more. You know, I've sent way more documents, and it's more than the paperwork. Because I've had conversations with them. That's why I'm starting to record them. Because they be lying. And also for the record, I'll put this on the record again. This is my legal notice. My name, proclamation, and publication. It's been signed by 2 witnesses. Thumbprint. I am in my proper persona and reclaim my rightful social and cultural life of the state in accord with my Moorish nation of Northwest Amexem, North America, acknowledging my birthrights, having lawfully and legally obtained and proclaimed my Moorish nationality and birthright, name and title in harmony with in association and accord with the divine law and customs and the laws, rules, and usages of the Moorish divine and national movement, being Aboriginal and Indigenous, and bound to the North American continent by heritage, by birthright, by natural birth, by freehold, by inheritance, declared for the public record, I am returning the European cognomen and the fictitious misnomer back to the colonial possessors of its pedigree. I am now rightfully declaring, publishing, and proclaiming my own free national name, affirming my actual right and civil in full life status, conjoined to my Moorish American consanguine pedigree and national honor. Let it be declared, known, published, and resolved that I am Sade Renee L. in proper persona sui juris, being in my own person by birthright and inheritance without the foreign imposed color of law or assumed due process of the Union State Society, pursuant but not limited to. And then we have a list. And then I'll go ahead and affirm as well, wherefore I, Sade Renee L., being part and parcel, named herein, and by birthright and inheritance, make a lawful and legal entry of affidavit and public notification of nationality proclamation, name correction, claim, declaration, affirmation, and application, herewith published for the public record. Again, signed, my two witnesses as well with the thumbprint, sealed.
So you sent them a bunch of garbage paperwork and they sent it back. Your court actions are not working. You still don't have your child. I wonder why. Let's look at the next video.
Alright, so this is my copy. As you can see, it was dated 5/17/2021. It has been filed with the acting as Clerk of Court, Steve Gerson. On the left-hand side, we have here Stephen B. Wolfson, acting as District Attorney of Nevada, State Bar number 1565 de facto. We also have here Stephanie Richard, acting as Chief Deputy District Attorney, de facto, State Bar number 12075. If we skip down to line 10, we have here Ashe Divine Kellogg Tharp in all capital letters, which again signifies a corporation, not a living human being. And that is a nom de guerre, and that's also her straw man. If we skip down to line 13, I'll go ahead and read as follows. Motion for order directing the Nevada Office of Vital Statistics to create and issue a birth certificate. Line 15 comes now. The Clark County Department of Family Services, the department, through Michelle Polino and Stephen B. Wolfson, District Attorney of Clark County, State of Nevada, by and through Stephanie Richard, Chief Deputy District Attorney, and hereby applies for an order to have the State of Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Health, Office of Vital Statistics create a certificate for Ashe Kellogg Tharp, a minor ward of this court, in custody of the Clark County Department of Family Services. This motion is based upon the points and authorities attached hereto, the first affidavit of Yvette Strokes, and the documents contained in the court's file. And this looks like it was dated 17th of May, 21. Again, de facto Stephen B. Wolfson, acting as District Attorney, and de facto Stephanie Richard, acting as Chief Deputy District Attorney. All right, and just a side note, in regards to ward of a court, quote unquote, an important aspect of ward of the court status is determining who has legal custody of the child. If the court has taken custody of the child is a ward of the court. The court might assume, that's a very good trigger word right there, key word, the court might assume custody of the child because it is found that the parents are unable to properly care for the child. If the child remains in legal custody of the parents, legal custody, another trigger word because I am still her legal guardian, I am still her legal parent. My parental rights have not been terminated. I'll read as follows. The child is not a ward of the court, even if the court imposes its authority over the child. All right, so let's pause again for a moment and speak upon the birth certificate. Now, this information can be found at rvbaypublications.com, and I'll read as follows.
No, we're not going through RV Bay. We're not listening to RV Bay.
All right. Again, shout out to that brother. Very noble. He spoke nothing but facts. So moving right along to this de facto letter I received in regards to them trying to use my daughter as chattel and fiat, I'll read and I'll continue reading as follows. Excuse me. That's what I was trying to say. So it says here, points and authorities. Ashay Divine Kellogg Tharp, once again, it's a straw man. She's in all capitals. Was made a ward of the juvenile court and placed into the custody of the Department of Family Services on or about September 21st, 2020. Again, I already went over the ward of court, and I've already explained to you what a birth certificate is. On April 21st, 2020, Department Investigator Yvette Stokes, hereinafter Stokes, was assigned to the case involving the mother, Sade Kellogg Tharp, and the child, Ashay Divine Kellogg Tharp. Interesting enough, those straw mans are actually not in all capitals, but I'll continue reading. During the investigation, Stokes was advised by the mother, Sade Kellogg Tharp, again, that's my nom de guerre, ex-relatone, that she had given birth on August 8, 2019 to Ashay Divine Kellogg Tharp at a home in Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada, with no medical assistance. Now, I'm going to stop right there because that is in fact a lie. For the record, I did not birth my child in or at the Nevada territory. She was born in and at Califia, known to most as California. She is a product of not only me, the divine creator, but she can never be a ward of Nevada when she's not born in Nevada. So I don't see how they're trying to create a Nevada birth certificate when she wasn't even born here. But I'll continue reading. Also, the mother, Sade Kellogg Tharp, again, ex-relatone, advised Stokes that after her birth of Ashay Divine Kellogg Tharp, the mother did not seek medical attention for herself or the child. Due to a home birth and no medical follow-up, a birth certificate was never created for Ashay Divine Kellogg Tharp. And we're going to look at Exhibit 1 in a minute. And I'll pause right there. I'll go to my rebuttal, but also for the record, while we're here, I never spoke to Yvette about home birthing. I never spoke to Yvette about any hospital care. I did, in fact, use my rights to remain silent. All I gave Yvette was information on emergency contacts, someone to pick the baby up while I was personally being kidnapped by CFS, by Las Vegas Metropolitan Police, de facto pirates. You know what they are, de facto highwaymen. So that's the only information that I gave Yvette for the record. But I'll continue to read the lies. So it says here, line 15, to the department's knowledge, a birth certificate had never been issued for Ashay Divine Kellogg Tharp. The department is seeking permanency for Ashay Divine Kellogg Tharp and finds it necessary to ask the court for an order to create a birth certificate in effort to provide her with necessary services and permanence. Ashay Divine Kellogg Tharp is unable to receive a social security card without a birth certificate. Also, again, for the record, there's no need to seek for permanency because I am the divine creator. She belongs to me, and I'm demanding her back in my care. Now, if they want to continue with the fraud, again, I've had over 20 people, including friends and family, reach out to Child Family Services, Las Vegas, for the record, trying to get my baby so she can be with kin, she can be with people who knows her culture. Again, for the record, Ashay Divine L is currently being held hostage for profit by Sarah Day Lou. This is a European lady who is currently watching my baby, and she is trying and attempting to adopt her. All right, and Let's just take a quick pause so I can go over a Social Security, because a Social Security number is also not needed or necessary. You can also verify this information on rvbaypublications.com or just do your own studies.
Alright, I've heard enough. Who is this RV Bay? I've never given RV Bay permission to publish anything in my name.
All right, then it says here, conclusion, based on the foregoing, the department respectfully requests that the court order the State of Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Health, Office of Vital Statistics be directed to issue a birth certificate for the child, Ashay Divine Kellogg Tharp, born August the 8th, 2019, to Sade Kellogg Tharp in Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada. And it was dated the 17th of May. And again, And now I'm going to go over what I filed. So, of course, you know, since they filed paperwork, it's my duty to go ahead and rebut it line for line, which I did. So I'll go over that information right now, and I will just read it as follows. So as you can see, it was filed with the clerk of court. I have my 2-cent stamp on there. Everything has been, you know, I put everything in red, but of course it's been scanned, so that's why it came out black. Again, it has been filed with the clerk of court, acting as, his name is Steve Gerson. And as you can see, I dated this May 27th. This is the motion for birth certificate is denial petition. And I'll go ahead and read as follows. As it says here, District Court, Family Divisions, Juvenile, Clark County, Nevada, in the matter of Ashay Divine L, a Moor / foreign national, in proper persona, date of birth 8/8/2019. Ashay Divine L, once again in proper persona, a child property of Sade Renee L, me, a Moor, foreign national. Also number 12, natural mother name, Sade Renee L, all rights are reserved, known to them as Sade Kellogg Tharp, also all rights are reserved. I own the straw man. Also here, line 13, motion denied by natural mother to create a de facto birth certificate. Comes now. A state's jurisdiction and local municipality jurisdiction is quasi-national. Moors, Aboriginal, Indigenous, Natural Peoples matters are national and international. Michelle Polino, Stephen B. Wolfson, Stephanie Charter, and Stephanie Richer do not have jurisdiction over free, natural, living, breathing human beings. Michelle Polino, Stephen B. Wolfson, Stephanie Charter, and Stephanie Richer have failed to place on record, to produce for the record, the physical, documented delegation of authority as proof of jurisdiction as required by law per Article 3, Section 1 of the United States Republic Constitution. In failure, Ashay Divine L is not a ward of the court due to lack of proof. In failure, Ashay Divine L is not a ward of a court due to lack of proof of jurisdiction over a free, natural, living being. This motion again is denied by natural mother Sade Renee L. Mother is demanding the immediate return of her child / property, Ashay Divine L, known to you as Ashay Kellogg Tharp. And again, it was dated the 27th of the Gregorian calendar. As you can see, I went ahead and autographed it, all rights reserved, with my red thumbprint. Getting back to the exhibits, again, I went ahead and submitted the proper paperwork in regards to my daughter, my offspring, my property, having a live birth certificate. And as you see here, this is Exhibit 1. This is the affidavit of truth / live birth. It was dated 5/27, and it has been sent and delivered to Vital Statistics in Califia / California. It just reads as follows. I, Sade Renee L, attest to the fact that I had a home birth at California Territory. I am the divine creator, mother of Ashay Divine L, who I birthed in California. For the record, she was born August 8th in California. This is her certificate of live birth. You see the autograph, and it has been again certified. It has been mailed. And today being Thursday, it has been received. It was received on the 1st, so 2 days ago.
But why did you wait so long to send it to them?
All right, scrolling down here, we have Exhibit 2. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, this is the Moorish Science Temple of America record of live birth. As you can see as well, I did have 2 witnesses sign 2 nationals at that, and I went ahead and autographed. They autographed, and we have all the proper fingerprints and footprints. Again, that has been certified, mailed to the clerk of court, acting as Steve Gerson of Vital Statistics, and the acting as judge. Now, if we scroll down, we have this lovely, lovely Holy Bible. Now, this is a Bible that has been in my family, gosh, I can't even tell you how long, but I know it's older than me. It's probably double my age, and I'm still young. But with that being said, the Holy Bible is actually something that I have always had her information in. So for me and my family, we put our birth certificates in our Holy Bible, and we consider it a living Bible birth certificate. So this is our record of live birth. Again, it's the Holy Bible. As you can see, Mr. Elmo Tharp, that is my late grandfather. This was actually his Bible. Very, very old Bible again. Scrolling down again, we have pretty much my timeline. I'm not going to go too much into that for personal reasons, but as you can see, that's our living Bible. My daughter, child, offspring / property is listed in the living Bible, and you can Google any information in regards to living Bibles. They are considered legal live birth records. And Stephanie Richard, the lady who wanted to become a party to the matter, I actually have not sent her avertment of jurisdiction because this is the first time that she put her name on my paperwork. So again, now that she wants to be a party to the matter, not a problem. I'll go ahead and just let you know again for the record that you have no jurisdiction over free national people. And if you do, go ahead and provide me that information. Place it on record for the record as proof required by Article 3, Section 1 of the United States Republic Constitution. As all government entities and alleged private corporations must be a creature of the American Constitution, this is a formal request and demand and command for Stephanie Richard, State Bar number 12075, to produce for the record, again, the delegation of authority. And keep in mind, whoever have taken an oath before a competent tribunal officer or person in any case which a law of the United States authorizes the oath to be administered, willfully and contrary to such oath, states or subscribes any material matter which he does not believe to be true, is guilty of perjury and shall be fined no more than $2,000 or imprisoned not more than 5 years, or both. That's 18 USC. And I went ahead and I included my fee. So it's actually $1 million, or 1 million notes, Federal Reserve notes, excuse me, a day. A day. And again, failure to produce this information constitutes corporate and limited liability insurance fraud, 15 USC, and is a prime facie of evidence and grounds to impose a lien upon the official personal to secure their public oaths and service of offer. Again, and my personal fee is $1 million a day. Further say it not, as I scroll down, you can see that this information has been notarized. It has been notarized, and in the notary, I included, in this whole document that I mailed and got e-filed, I included the motion for birth certificate petition. It's 5 pages. The affidavit of truth / live birth, the Moorish American birth certificate, the living Bible birth, that's 3 pages, and the Vital Statistics affidavit of live birth, and the avertment of jurisdiction for Stephanie Richard. Altogether, I sent out 12 pages in total. With this notary, it includes 14, and as you see, I just added the affidavit of fact in regards to certificate of service. Again, it has been certified mail and e-filed to all the appropriate parties.
Well, thanks for watching Facts or Frauds. This has been a long episode when Moors go wild. By the way, she still does not have her daughter back. I wonder if it could be the whole Moorish claim and fraudulent paperwork. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.